You guys, I have the testimonials, I have the DMs. I wish I found you 15 years ago. Do you know how much money I could have been saving? Like, it's just eye-opening. And so this class and course really is for everyone.
Welcome to Life Changing Money, a podcast all about one of the most taboo topics in the world, money. I'm your host, Barbara Strehans, and we're going behind the scenes on business owners' journeys to money, success, and wealth. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Life Changing Money. I'm your host, Barbara Strehans, the founder of Your Tax Coach and the Counsel Mastermind. So this week's episode, we are going to be talking all about why having an accountant is not enough in today's day and age. Like, an accountant's just not enough, you guys. Some of you listening probably don't even have a bookkeeper, which is like the worst possible thing you could do as a business owner. Let me just say, first things first, invest in a bookkeeper, a really good one that knows taxes. And you might think I'm biased saying this, but when I tell you I've worked at over half a dozen accounting firms, so I have seen my fair share of bookkeepers, I can tell you our bookkeepers at Your Tax Coach are the best bookkeepers I've ever come across. There's just something about my team, and every time we hire a bookkeeper, the culture of the bookkeeping team is just one of excellence. Like, they are so detail oriented. They are so about you saving money on your taxes. Like, they live and breathe categorizing your transactions in the most tax advantageous way, in the most detailed way that you would never even think of. So step number one, please get a bookkeeper, you guys. But why having an accountant just isn't enough these days? Because you're overpaying in taxes. So before we dive in, I'm hosting a free live masterclass September 17th, 10 a.m. PST, 1 a.m. Eastern. It's the last time this year I'm hosting this Right Off Your Life masterclass. And it is the most amount of upgrades that you will ever see in one of my courses. We are relaunching the Right Off Your Life course. I re-recorded every video for you. You're welcome. We redid every single module, every single presentation, and then I re-recorded all the videos for you. I added in all the new tax law changes for the One Big Beautiful Tax Bill because it is the biggest tax law changes besides the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that I've seen in the 15 years of doing this. It's actually the most amount of tax law changes since 1986. So it was really important to me to add all of those changes into the course. On top of that, I created a Barb AI so that when you have the course, you can ask Barb AI a tax question and she can answer it just like I would. And so for those of you that buy the course this time around, you will get Barb AI as a bonus for you. So let's talk about like why an accountant just like isn't enough. And actually, let's talk about the difference between an accountant and a tax strategist. So an accountant or a tax preparer are retroactive. They're literally just taking the numbers you give them from the prior year. They're putting them on a tax return and they're saying, this is what you owe. They're always in the back seat. Like, they're just like looking backwards. It's retroactive. It's very reactive. Everything happens after the year ends. They focus on plugging in numbers, filing returns. Usually they're working at a firm and they have to hit a certain number of tax returns, a certain number of billable hours. And so they're just trying to crank out returns. This is exactly why in my tax firm, we do not have billable hours. We do not have a number of returns that people need to hit because I would rather the returns take longer, which they do because we're adding all of these strategies to them. We're actually looking at the numbers, like what could be missing here. Oh, this number looks a little low for this year. Are you sure you don't have any from your personal accounts that maybe we're missing something? And so a tax strategist is someone that works proactively with you throughout the year. So let's take this year, for example, it's 2025. You're probably listening to this podcast episode in August or September. And so you finally get a tax strategist and we're like, okay, sweet.
There are 15 of these different strategies. We have hundreds of them, but let's say we're going to do these 15 strategies for you before the end of the year. They're going to save you 50 grand in taxes. Yes, you have to meet with us, and yes, you have to, do some documentation, but we make it as easy for you as possible. We have all the templates for you. We tell you exactly what to do. Saves you 50,000. And then it doesn't stop at December 31st. Then it's tax season time. We get your numbers and we're like, oh, hey, remember we talked about this one thing? Yeah, just fill out this one form. We'll be able to take it on your tax return. That'll save you another 5 grand. Like, these little changes in mindset on who's doing your taxes make a huge difference, and a huge difference in your tax bill. So most accountants only focus on preparing a tax return and not strategy. And that's for a few reasons. Like, strategy is not taught to us in school. So if your accountant went to college for accounting, they don't teach. First of all, most of them only learn like debits and credits. So like they're only learning like the bookkeeping side. They're not learning the tax side at all. And if they are learning tax, it's one class for 3 months. And then even in my master's in taxation program, which is like a 1.5-year program of school from 9 to 5 and homework from 5 to 2 in the morning, just to see who could make it for a 1.5 years so that they knew that we could all survive tax season. It was actually wild. There was someone that cried every single day in our master's of tax program, and every single person failed every single test. It was like this crazy ass bell curve that they did, and everyone failed from a regular standpoint. It was crazy. I don't know how I got through that because I also had a newborn at the time, but they also don't teach strategy in that program. What they're teaching you is tax law. And then it's up to us as the preparer or this newbie out in the tax world to read between the tax laws, to read between the case law that's happened in these cases to find where you can save money in taxes. And that's really the difference. Is most people just go to an accounting firm that wants them to crank out 900 tax returns in a tax season, versus me. I was always like, but wait, there has to be a better way. I know there's a better way. What if we did this? What if we did that? I actually headed the strategy department at the last firm I worked at. And then that's when I really started deep diving into strategy. And then I just never stopped learning. I'm constantly taking a class or a certification or a program or at a retreat or a conference, learning more and more of these tax strategies. And we already are the best in the business. And I know that because I follow all of our competitors and we get clients from every single one of our competitors, and we just do things differently. Like, our team actually freaking cares about you as a person, about you and your family, because we know that like an extra $5,000 to your family can change your life. It can give you another family vacation. It can beef up your savings account. It can fund your retirement account so that you can finally start saving for your retirement. And so most people, most business owners especially, they just go with like who their friend recommended as a regular old accountant, or they go to the place down the street with like the wiggly blow up sign. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even know what those things are called. They're like creepy monsters that are like waving in the wind, or a neon income tax sign. Please don't get your freaking tax returns filed at anywhere that has a neon income tax sign in the window. Okay? Now, let me be frank. I have a neon sign, but it says the Council Mastermind, and I have a neon sign that says Minted Wealth Live, and I have a neon sign that says Life Changing Money. But I don't have a neon sign facing the street saying income tax, and I'm only open for tax season. Like, that's not the vibe, okay? None of you should be doing your taxes there. And none of you should be freaking doing your taxes at TurboTax, H&R Block, or Liberty Tax, okay? None of them are proficient in business tax returns. Actually, H&R Block only requires a GED, okay? Do you want someone with a GED, no offense to anyone out there listening, but doing your taxes? Hey, I don't mind if someone has a GED doing construction on my house, but like, if you're doing my tax return and my biggest expense in my life is in your hands, like, no, thank you. So please be cautious of where you get your taxes done. Yes, a firm like ours that does tax strategy is going to cost you a little bit more, but not that much. I actually just looked at what H&R Block charges for a business and personal tax return, and it's $3,500, and ours is $4,350. So an $850 difference, dude, I could get that back for you from just a home office deduction. I could get the whole $4,350 back for you from a home office deduction. Like, we don't actually cost you money. That's the biggest misconception about tax strategists, because people think like, oh, I don't make enough for a tax strategist, or, oh, I need to be a millionaire. No, you don't. Anytime you work with a tax strategist, we make you money back, or we're not doing our job. Like, no matter what you pay us, we should be getting you more back in taxes. It's a very easy concept. But most business owners just go out and they like have their cousins, uncles, friends, best friends, real estate agent referral do their taxes. And like, that's not the vibe. Okay. You guys are building real businesses, making real money, and you want to save a real amount in taxes and have it hold up in court. You need to have a team of tax strategists on board. Don't forget to sign up for our Write Off Your Life Masterclass. Just comment life anywhere on my social media. So you can go to Your Tax Coach and comment life. You can go to Barbara Strehands and comment life. But it's an amazing masterclass. Probably at this point, we've had over 10,000 business owners take the masterclass, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you take the course. So another really common misconception, actually, I was on an interview this morning. We've been hiring like crazy, which is so great. I'm so grateful and so blessed to be able to hire so many team members and to be able to give like 30 something families a paycheck every other week. But I was on an interview this morning with an amazing woman who's been in the tax world for a very long time. And I was like, yeah, are you licensed? And she's like, yeah, I have an EA and I have no plans on ever getting my CPA. And I said, great. I love that. And you know why I love that for those of you listening? Because a lot of you say, are you a CPA? Oh, I need a CPA. CPAs don't know shit about taxes. 95% of CPAs have never touched a tax return. So stop asking for CPAs. What you really want is an EA, an enrolled agent. An EA is the highest designation in the eyes of the IRS. They can represent you in tax court, and they know the most amount about taxes than any other certification out there. So what you really need is an EA, because now you know that they are an expert in tax. A CPA is like a master of none, you know? Like they know a little bit about a lot, but they're a master of none, and probably they've never like really worked on taxes. So you don't need a CPA. And if you do have one, they're probably not a tax strategist. They are overloaded during tax season. They don't have time to ask strategic questions. And again, if your accountant isn't asking you strategic questions, if they seem too busy for you, if they're blowing you off, if they're telling you no, if you have to go to them with a strategy and then they say, oh, yeah, maybe that can work. Let me look into it. Then it's time for you to get a new accountant. It's time for you to get a tax strategist. And it's a lot easier to switch than you think. I tell this to everyone. It's like getting a new doctor. Your new doctor just calls your old doctor and says, hey, can you send me the medical file? And they say, sure. And they fax it over. It is the same thing. You have me as your new tax strategist. I email the old accountant. I say, hey, can you send me XYZ document? And legally, they have to. So some of the most common missed opportunities that I see from business owners, they're not maximizing their home office deductions. Like, this is crazy. You could probably be getting a $10,000 or more deduction from your home office deductions. You're just not doing it right. It's not tracked correctly. You're not taking business travel. Like 90% of the time you travel should be business related. Your meals, your auto deductions. You're probably not hiring your kids. Are you the right entity structure? Like, are you tracking that HELOC that you got, and could it be business related? There's so many things. Like, but you don't need a degree in tax. Like, I want you out there making money. I want you in your zone of genius. I want you to be the revenue generator, and just let us save you all that money that you're already bringing in. Because you probably don't need to make more money. You just need to keep more of your money. Like, you're the CEO. You don't need to be the CPA. Let our team of tax strategists do that. But you do need to know enough to ask smart questions. That's the difference. That's CEO energy. Like CEOs don't know it all, but they know how to ask the right people the right questions. Hey, where are we at with this? Understanding strategy empowers you to save money, to lead smarter conversations with not only your accountant, but with other people in your industry or out at events and networking. It can also empower you to build long-term wealth and not just survive this whole business ownership thing. Like I've seen people paying too much in taxes have it close their business down because they're just like, why am I working so hard to just give it all away? And so the Write Off Your Life Masterclass is going to be so freaking eye-opening for you. It's fast, simple education on what you can write off. And then in the course, I give you hundreds of deductions that you could be taking. It gives you the confidence to track these deductions the right way. I give you game-changing strategies that most business owners have never heard of, especially from their CPA. It's perfect for new business owners and for you seasoned business owners. Honestly, it's amazing for both. Our clients that buy the Write Off Your Life course, all the new business owners, they're just like, oh my gosh, I haven't had to pay taxes in years because of this course. And then all of the seasoned business owners like that are making a lot of money also take this course. And I have the messages, I have the proof, you guys, I have the testimonials, I have the DMs. I wish I found you 15 years ago. Do you know how much money I could have been saving? Like, it's just eye-opening. And so this class and course really is for everyone. It's perfect for those of you that already have an accountant. One, it's just good for you to know this education, this knowledge. It's very eye-opening. Now you can bring the right questions to your accountant. I mean, I hope that my goal would be that you switch accountants to us, because if this is eye-opening to you, then you do need to switch accountants. So why haven't you done it yet? And when it's as easy as me sending an email for you saying, thank you so much for providing all of the help and guidance to my client over the past 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. They've moved in a different direction this year. I need their last tax return, their financials, and all of their documents sent over to this email by Friday. And then they legally have to do it. It's not that hard to switch your accountant. And this class is for you if you're like, I'm overpaying in taxes. I know I'm paying too much. Like, I get mad when I have to write the IRS that quarterly estimated tax payment every single quarter. So get your booty to this masterclass. It's September 17th, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll answer your questions live. I'll give you so many different deductions that you could be taking and how you could be taking them, because you might be taking these deductions, but not fully and not the right way. So I truly feel that you deserve to keep more of what you earn. Don't wait for your accountant to save you money. Learn how to do it yourself and then get an amazing tax strategy team to actually implement it for you. And don't forget to subscribe, share, come back next week for more, and I'll see you on September 17th.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Life Changing Money. Don't forget to subscribe, and I would love if you left a review and shared it with your friends. See you next time.